Long and athletic, going to run you off the three-point line. Important for Michigan State to be able to make some tough twos inside, but also Mississippi State. Michigan State loves to push the tempo, makes or misses, can't give up easier shots in that secondary break.
Bulldogs with the opening tip. Congratulations to all the officials who have made it to the tournament as well. Terry Oglesby, Tim Clougherty, and Edwin Young are three officials on the floor. Josue Nieves is the alternate. First shot by the freshman. Empty set on the first opportunity for Mississippi State. The 8th seed coming in. And now Michigan State's first offensive possession and inside to Carson Cooper. Two very good defensive teams, defensive juggernauts in both of their conferences. Again, take a look at the keys. And Jimmy, these two teams, they both hang their hat. Signature is defense. Tom Izzo, it's been an up and down year for him. Making those tough twos, though, because of how good Mississippi State covers that three-point line will be a key here today. As Akins gets up the first shot, and Akins, he's been in a shooting slump, Jim, but he was cooking last year in the tournament.
But check it out. Where did the ball go? It was immediately put inside to A.J. Hoggard, like right on the block. So the defense had to collapse. Akins was available and open, and those are the shots that Michigan State will have to knock down early and often.
Cameron Matthews goes crash again, offensive foul. One of Mississippi State's leaders commits the first foul, puts the ball in the hands of Michigan State here.
Well, speaking of defense, Malik Hall utilizes the baseline as a secondary defender, funnels that time. Cameron Matthews to the baseline, able to cut it off. Listen, experience is going to play a role here in this game, too, as Michigan State, see right now, operating offensively with a backdoor cut because they've been here before. So the early jitters may not be as much as it will be for Mississippi State.
Nice pass here by Carson Cooper. He's got the fitted mask on. He took a shot in the Big Ten tournament playing Purdue. Certainly not affecting his vision on that pass. Mississippi State looking for that first basket of the game. DJ Jeffers come off. Matthews gets to the paint, looking for help. Three to shoot. Oh, and diving is Davis. Good cut to the basket, and the Bulldogs are on the board for the first time.
Yeah, beautiful give and go that time. The defense fell asleep, and Deshaun Davis read it perfectly. Able to catch, finish. Right inside, much needed shot that time by the Bulldogs to travel.
Malik Hall turns it over. And take it back to the first basket of the tourney for Mississippi State.
Well, you get 2 feet in the paint, and now the defense tends to collapse, and you look around trying to figure out where the help is going to come from. And instead of standing, Deshaun Davis figured out where the gap was at. And that time, Cameron Matthews was able to drop a nice dunk.
Mississippi State has not won an NCAA tournament game since 2008. As Davis drives in. The little floater is good. Deshaun Davis for the first 2 buckets. Hoggard to Walker. Guards are key for Michigan State. And it always shows up, Jim, in the NCAA tournament. You have good guards. Usually you can go a long way here. That one misses from the corner.
Well, the success on this Michigan State program has always been built around outstanding point guard play. When they're at their best, Michigan State usually makes a deep run. So look to see how Hoggard and also Walker impact this game early.
Tolu Smith loses the handle on the spin. Mississippi State turns it over.
Well, it's interesting because Carson Cooper is guarding Tolu Smith, but early in the game, it's going to be a double team, probably coming from Malik Hall with size. And we've seen it twice. First time Tolu Smith gave it up. That time, trying to spin baseline away from it, lost it out of bounds. We're going to keep our eye on that as well.
A couple of turnovers early. Malik Hall inside. Matthews fouls him. So for Cameron Matthews, he picks up his second foul already. Not even 4 minutes into this game, and that's going to force Chris Jans into an early decision here as Matthews not only a key defender, but brings some offense as well. 2 quick ones here.
But here's the case. Cameron Matthews, you don't have to foul because the double team is already there in place. Malik Hall was looking really to pass it out. Once you slap down and reach down, it's an easy call for the official if you make contact.
A.J. Hoggard hits a three-pointer in the corner. Michigan State off to a good start. Hoggard Rains in a three, second made three for Michigan State. He and Akins have hit. Michigan State, not a great three-point shooting team, not a volume three-point shooting team for certain through the Big Ten. But they've come out firing here against a team that protects that line well. Davis trying to turn the corner, cannot, and Walker is going to be called for the foul.
You talked about the infrequency of Michigan State shooting the basketball from three. It's time and scoring is how you get it. If you keep spacing, maintaining, you swing the basketball, you'll have some open shots. So what's key for me is probably not the volume in which Michigan State takes the three, it's how many they make and how they get them. That's a prime example of moving the ball from the strong side, forcing the defense to rotate to the weak side, ending up with an open high percentage shot.
Mississippi State basketball here, just getting started on a great day as we open up the field of 64 in March Madness today. First of 16 games. Josh Hubbard rises up, comes up short. He's missed his first two shots. Got to get him acclimated quick if you're Mississippi State. Tolu Schmidt got a hand on that. Ends up as a steal, then he throws it away. And the Bulldogs turn it over for a third time. A little erratic to start it. Players in foul trouble, Allie LaForce, early.
He does. Cameron Matthews with 2 fouls. He will have to play extremely intelligently. It's scary for this team because when I asked Coach Jans about Matthews, he said, quote, I want his personality to be who we are. He's grown so much. He's our vocal leader, and Matthews hasn't held back publicly when it comes to manifesting the confidence his team needs. A day before the SEC tournament, he said, quote, when you look at the bracket, I think the only people on this side we have not beaten is South Carolina, and we could have beat them. We have a good chance of making a deep run. He said, quote, please keep counting us out. Give us that chip on our shoulder that we need. It just adds the fuel to the fire. And guys, Coach echoed that right before the game, saying, we belong here, guys. Let's go kick the door down.
Great stuff, Allie. And it's very important that Matthews soaks in what's going on right now, has an idea of game planning, but when he gets in, he has to play intelligent basketball. Speaking of which, Tyson Walker scouted that out right there. And MSU able to finish that steal off in transition.
Xavier Booker just on the floor. First minutes for him. Runs the floor. Able to get into the box score. Michigan State doing what they do best right now. Keyshawn Murphy, first minutes for him for Mississippi State. Hubbard trying to get his first shot down. Garnering a lot of attention. Trey Holloman's guarding him now. Coming off the bench. Jeffries. With Hogarth in the air, DJ Jeffries, who played high school ball with Cameron Matthews. Olive Branch, Mississippi, the Memphis transfer now in his third year. Big bucket early from Mississippi State as they try to settle in here. And now poked away by Murphy, forces the turnover. And Hubbard lays it in. So there's part of that defense we're talking about. They get a lot of easy baskets off their excellent perimeter defense.
Yeah, active hands that time by Murphy, but you think about it from Michigan State's perspective, Xavier Booker has to be stronger with the ball. This is where he wants to be, a little bit on the perimeter, but able to get Josh Hubbard his first easy look.
Walker on defense. Here's Holloman picking up Hubbard now. Josh Hubbard, the freshman, started on the varsity as an 8th grader in Mississippi. Their all-time leading scorer in prep basketball at Mississippi. Jeffries can't hit, and Mani Sissoko just onto the floor, picks up his first rebound. Holdout wants to push it, double quickly. Somebody's open, that is Mani Sissoko with a two-handed jam.
But that's Michigan State's forte. Off of miss, get it up quick. If you can get it deep down in the post, what happens? You sink the defense. Now you're able to spread out for a trailing three, or that time he got it to the weak side to Sissoko for a nice dunk.
Shaquille Moore picked up by Walker. Moore's a high flyer, having a little trouble shaking Walker though. Keyshawn Murphy misses the three. Sissoko with another rebound. Michigan State has assists on all of their made baskets thus far. 5 field goals made, 5 assists, and add 1 to it. Three-pointer is down for Tyson Walker.
Excellent ball movement once again. You get it up quick. Mississippi State's defense is not set. You're able to get a cleaner look.
3 early threes for the Spartans. Tolu Smith, got to get him involved now. One of the best players in the SEC in his 5th year. Michigan State cuts off another trip to the paint. Now Jeffries off his foot, losing the handle. It's a scramble. Hogard comes out of the pack. Walker in transition. Three-pointer is good. Three-pointer number 4. Chris Jans wants to talk it over. Not only making their threes, but also setting up their players and moving the ball very well.
The ball moves faster than bodies. Okay, so right now the 7 made field goals by Sparty early are coming off of 7 assists. So not trying to pound it, not trying to beat you one-on-one, understanding that if you shift this Bulldog defense, you'll get some gaps and some looks, and it's proven to pay off early.
Sean Jones Jr. is in the game for Mississippi State. Hubbard will sit for now. Getting late clock once again as Murphy kicks it around. Davis with 5 to shoot. Into the corner, hot pass. Got to put one up. Davis missed it. And the long rebound out to Akins. See Cohen Carr. His first minutes for Michigan State. Trey Holloman. He can get it going off the bench. Alex Kohler coming off the Michigan State bench as well, down in the post, matching up with big Jimmy Bell. Here's Malik Hall. He rises up and hits a mid-range jumper.
If you can keep the ball in the middle of the court, that eliminates the help. And that time, Malik Hall using the bounce to his advantage, got to about 15 feet. Why try to force the situation when you can pull up for an easy mid-range jump shot?
Michigan State on an early run here in the first 9 minutes of this one. 10-0 run for the Spartans. They lead it by 12. Good pass, no finish. Out to Holloman. Holloman wants to push it here. Jaden Akins, the lefty, missed it. Offensive rebound by Kohler.
And that's why that's a really good shot in transition when you have numbers, because you can't match up on the defensive glass if you're Mississippi State and you're able to get another opportunity right here for Michigan State.
Michigan State, top 30 team of the nation in assists this year. They got a late clock here. Holloman lets a long one fly. Did not hit the rim. That'll be a shot clock violation. And Mississippi State getting back to what they do. They won't serve on this end of the floor. Good stuff, Allie. Thanks. And thanks to Chris Jans. You see DJ Jeffries trying to play through this ankle injury, leg injury. Mississippi State down 12. They've had 14 possessions. They've made just 4 field goals and turned it over 5 times as Sean Jones misses. And Holloman comes out of there with a rebound. Michigan State can add to it.
Well, good look that time by Jones. It was Bell. Felt the double team, kicked it out, and the Bulldogs, their best defense is going to be their offense. If they can make some shots, now they're able to set the table with their defense and not give Michigan State these early runouts.
Alex Kohler finds himself wide open. He missed it. He got his own, his second offensive rebound. And Jackson Kohler keeping a possession alive. Holloman leaves it up top. Too tall for Cohen Carr, who takes a tough spill. Mississippi State in transition now. Josh Hubbard needed that one. Back on the floor. This is their top scorer. Mississippi State doesn't look like a high-volume three-point shooting team unless Hubbard is getting his threes up.
Let me say something. You rarely, that's 2 times in a row, throw it where Cohen Carr can't get it. That one was just a bad pass by Trey Holloman. The other one was just a little too high. Mississippi State was able to take advantage of it in transition. Now, Michigan State, that's 2 empty possessions right there that you're giving back to a team that's struggling to find their way. Right now, we'll see what is drawn up offensively to see if this Bulldog offense can kind of keep some momentum going.
6 turnovers for Michigan State. They average just shy of 10 turnovers a game. That was 3rd best in the Big Ten, top 30 in the nation. Here's Hubbard once again. The pull-up is good. Long 2 by Josh Hubbard. You see the confidence in this kid.
Unbelievable. Listen, both he and Tyson Walker do an excellent job of elevating on their jump shot. And that being a shorter player, you have to get the ball up and over. Beautiful rotation that time by Davis. And this is why, you know, Hubbard is so good. His ability to field a defense, a little step back, and then you see the rise right there, the finish up top. I mean, he's just scratching the surface on how good he can be.
Yeah.
You think about where he came from, not starting, to playing some significant minutes, to kind of being the offensive focal point. Now, he was that in high school, but the SEC is a different conference, a different level.
16th consecutive start for Josh Hubbard. He went for 32 against LSU in late February. Went for 34 against Kentucky in early March. Malik Hall, guarded by Matthews, gets the steal. Matthews on the SEC all-defensive team, and he sets up Tolu Smith. And now Mississippi State starting to churn a little bit. 7-0 run for the Bulldogs. Carson Cooper gets doubled. Here's Hogard. He drives. Hogard is fouled here.
And we just, you know, we early on talked about, we praised Michigan State about being a low turnover team, but in the past that has been an Achilles heel, and that's how you allow an opponent that you kind of stymied early to get back in the game, and that's just a tough shot that time by Hubbard.
Yeah, Hubbard thought he was fouled, thought he got clipped on the hand. He missed badly. Doesn't normally miss that far.
Yeah, but that was a tough shot. He probably could have got that shot later in the shot clock, kind of build out Michigan State's defense on that one.
Tyson Walker, DJ Jeffries back on the floor. There's the switch now. Matthews picks him up. Now Tolu Smith. Again, Walker's got a big man on him, and he'll pull a three. In and out it goes. There's Jeffries with the rebound.
Well, the beautiful thing about the Bulldogs is this, is when they hedge out or they switch with their bigs can guard in space. And that time Walker felt he couldn't get by Tolu Smith, and the turnover there, and he settled for the jump shot.
Active hands, both teams. Michigan State forces a turnover. Hubbard almost got that one. Here's Akins in the corner. He comes up short. Akins gets it back. Little mid-range jumper is good. No hesitation for Jaden Akins. Now a junior. Had just 4 points against Purdue last Friday in the Big Ten tournament. Michigan State, preseason number 4. They were out of the top 25 by Thanksgiving. It has been an inconsistent year. Tom Izzo said, I own that, but this is also Tom Izzo's time of year. One of the winningest teams in NCAA tournament history. 5 to shoot. Tolu Smith backing down Cooper. Air ball. And Michigan State will take over. Carson Cooper standing tough against Tolu Smith.
But here's the thing. Credit the team defense, because the Bulldogs not being a threat as much from the three-point line, you're able to condense your defense a little bit. So Tolu Smith, even though he was in the middle of the court, he didn't have a lot of real estate to work with, and Carson Cooper did an excellent job of using his body and not swiping down at the end to pick up a foul. A beautiful move that time.
A.J. Hogarth kept his dribble, saw an opening, and lays it in. Michigan State by 9, approaching the 5-minute mark. In the corner, Jeffries, a willing shooter. He's been playing through these injuries. But Jeffries at 6'7", he is the threat from deep in the corner.
Little zone defense switch up. I like the switch. Right here, you use that size and length to keep Michigan State perimeter oriented. You just can't let a deep pass or dribble penetration break you down.
Hogarth once again, look at the drive, cut off in the corner. Akins for 3. And another three-point basket set up with a beautiful pass.
But it was the threat of the drive against that zone that sunk in the defense off of Akins that got him that open look.
5 made threes for Michigan State. All of them have been assisted. 8 assists on 11 field goals for Spartan. Jeffries finding Hubbard. Hubbard trying to get some space, creating some space. Comes up short. Malik Hall with a rebound. Here comes Michigan State. Hogarth throws it back. Mississippi State gets back well. Hogarth, 2-man game of Cooper. Now Hall. Baseline. Here's Akins for 3. That's going to be a foul on Malik Hall.
Brian, I'm going to show you something. This is where Michigan State wants the attack, in the middle of the court. They want to get into these slots right here. Why it's important is because now you can't help. So Holgard uses his dribble. He hesitates. He comes back. And look, he's still within those slots. And for Michigan State to keep the ball in the middle of the court, if you help in, that's when you're able to, one, spray it out for a three-point shot, or you can dump it inside or lob to the rolling big. So that's one of the strategies against a long, big defensive team that loves to help on the pick and roll, is to attack those slots in the middle of the court.
When you hit a few three-pointers early like Michigan State has, it loosens up the paint as well. There's a lot of room for Holgard to work.
Yep.
Those 5 made threes early for Michigan State. Shaquille Moore gives it up. Deshaun Davis, no good. That's going to be loose ball foul on Sissoko. It's going to.
Now Michigan State is 5 for 12, shooting that thing at 42%.
Both teams with high turnovers. Out of character for Michigan State. You can credit Mississippi State with those active hands. Although Tom Izzo wasn't real pleased with the 2 lob attempts that missed. That's an air ball from Jeffries. And Bell cannot get the putback. Didn't touch the rim, so another shot clock violation. And it'll be Michigan State ball. There's Chris Jans. 3 times he was Coach of the Year in the WAC at New Mexico State. He's been to 5 NCAA tournaments, his 3rd straight. So went there with New Mexico State, and then the last 2 years as the head man at Mississippi State. Excellent coach.
Excellent communicator, understanding what he wants and how he wants to build his program, and we'll talk about that a little bit because it's very interesting on his thoughts on that.
Yeah, these 2 coaches are opposite in their thinking about program building. How about that finish? Tyson Walker goes with a left hand high off the glass. And Michigan State back into a double-digit lead here.
Well, back in those slots, right in the middle of the court, he was able to get underneath Keyshawn Murphy, and guess what? The help couldn't come because of the threat of the 3-ball.
Murphy couldn't finish it, had a good rim run, but unable to cash one in. Michigan State can add to their lead here. 2.5 to go first half.
But check this out, too. Michigan State doing an excellent job of team rebounding. Right now, 14 total rebounds, 3 offensive compared to 8 total rebounds for the Bulldogs.
They got 3 players, 2 guards with 3 rebounds apiece for Michigan State. Walker floats it up. Booker tried to follow. Bell lost it out of bounds. And they're going to give the ball. Yep. Yeah. It'll be Mississippi State ball as Michigan State was out of bounds when he touched it last. Booker never reestablished himself.
There you go. He was the first one in. And you know what? On that move by Walker, I don't know if he was in between a lob or a shot, because he saw on the backside that the lob was available, and he kind of put it up there, kind of in between on what he wanted to do on that drive.
Don't you get the feeling that one more missed lob and Tom Izzo?
He's already exploded.
He's going to pop.
Come on, man. He's already exploded. But you can't take away what you do well. You just got to make sure you complete it.
I'm with you. I thought it was there as well. Here's Hubbard, the freshman. He kicks it. Keyshawn Murphy missed it. Mississippi State can't buy a 3 right now. They are 2 for 11 from beyond the arc. Remember Tom Izzo talking about Trey Holloman. Needed better play from him. Protect the ball better. This is his second tour on the floor, and Holloman gets inside, missed it.
Good defense that time by Shaquille Moore that time. He got beat off the dribble, but he came back and kind of influenced that shot, which left it a little bit short for Holloman.
Lee Call giving Murphy all he wants, but he will not shoot it now. And there is a 3. There's a foul underneath the basket. Count the 3-pointer. And a foul on Mississippi State under the basket.
Well, the shot is up. Sissoko inside, and I don't know about that. That was more so Sissoko kind of off balance, and Tolu Smith, because he had his hands around him, looked more egregious than not. I don't agree with that foul right there. I think you just play on from there.
Second foul on Tolu Smith. He is a huge part of what Mississippi State does. Have not had a free throw attempt in this game as of yet.
How about that? 2 physical kind of defensive teams, yet cleanly enough been able to play it without getting some freebies from the line and good active hands that time, but 13 seconds time is really good. Izzo had drawn up a play to get a shot. It looks like a man-to-man defense coming out of this underneath out of bounds.
Malik Hall guarded by Jones. That is last touch by Sean Jones. So Michigan State ball here, 11 to shoot now. Mississippi State can eliminate the top scorer against any opponent. Usually that is Cam Matthews, who got hit with 2 early fouls. And Chris Jans has had to protect those fouls. Splits it, kicks it, extra pass here, good ball movement. Shot clock down to 2, got to put one up. Hogard missed it. Hall too late. Didn't hit the rim. Another shot clock violation. Mississippi State holding serve. Second shot clock violation on Michigan State. Don't forget, you can get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com.
You know what, on that last possession, real quick, the shot you don't take forces you down to a tougher shot. Malik Hall had a catch and shoot. He turned it down, and now it got to Hogard at the end of the shot clock. Listen, that's your shot. Step up there with confidence and knock it in.
Here is Hubbard, and Hubbard rips a 3. Josh Hubbard, a big shot late first half here, makes it a 5-point game. Hubbard's got 3 threes now. Remember, he missed his first 2 tries, settled into this one in his first NCAA tournament, and now he's got it going. And Tom Izzo, Ernie Johnson and the gang will handle halftime. You see Josh Hubbard, 108 made 3-pointers this year. The rest of the team just 141. So yes, statistically a volume 3-point shooting team, but most of it lies on the freshman's shoulders. Last possession here. Michigan State can take the clock down to 2. Here is Hall to 1, gets it off in time and scores it at the buzzer. Malik Hall driving and scoring, and Michigan State up 7 going into the half, Jimmy.
Yeah, big time shot by Malik Hall. Look, the Bulldogs have made their run, closed the gap, had some momentum on their side, but that time Sparty able to gain some of that back and take something positive.
He said we wanted to get back in transition. He thought they did a good job of that. He said once we stopped turning it over, we were in better shape. He'd like to see them get deeper paint touches. He thinks that they're pushing them off the block too much. Get in the paint, be physical, and he likes where they're at.
Good stuff, Allie. Thank you. And to Allie's point, Mississippi State only 2 turnovers in the final 12-20 of that first half. That was right after Allie spoke to Chris Jans in an interview in the first half. Had 5 turnovers in the first 7+ minutes. First possession, Michigan State. Tyson Walker, a mid-range jumper, and he pushes that lead to 9 right out of the halftime locker room.
Outstanding patience that time by Walker. Allowed Carson Cooper to set the screen. Cleared space with an extra dribble. Nice little 12-foot pull-up to begin the second half.
Sean Davis gives it up down in the corner now. DJ Jeffers, and he finally hits one. And let's take you back early in the first half. Jeffers was a little tweaked with his lower leg. He came out of the game. Also, Cameron Matthews had 2 quick fouls. So Mississippi State in their first NCAA tournament game this year, coming out with some veteran players, but they were a little rattled early, and now a 3rd foul
about that?
For Tolu Smith. Yeah, it was interesting to see who they were going to call that on, and Smith will have to go to the bench. He picks up number 3. That's a big story.
Yeah, but unnecessarily had his hand wrapped around and Carson Cooper's waist a little bit. And a beautiful play underneath out of bounds, a little empty corner action, pick and roll action. Malik Hall able to get inside. And Tolu Smith, I mean, it's just the little things that get you in and out of the game. Your 2 key interior players picking up a foul that they probably really shouldn't have.
First one's down from Malik Hall. Hey, first 4 coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continues tonight, 7 p.m. on ESPN2. For more information on game times and listings, go to NCAA.com. Those, Jim Jackson, were our first free throws of the game. It has been 9 years since we have had a half in the NCAA tournament without a free throw. That was Stephen F. Austin against Utah in Portland. The problem with that game, there were 34 free throws in the second half of that game. Let's hope we're not going there. But
they made up for it right there.
First free throws of this game as big Jimmy Bell, who just picked up that foul, turnaround jump hook is good. So he played a lot early in the season when Tolu Smith was out with injury. And now he is back in a big role here with Smith in foul trouble to start this second half.
Keep in mind, Jimmy Bell Jr. is from Saginaw, Michigan. His father played for Michigan State back in 1981-82. So got a little extra motivation right there. Good patience inside for him right there. There's another steal. Hubbard out.
Matthews the steal. Hubbard. Oh, it is denied. Jaden Akins flying high. Hubbard is down. And now Matthews another steal. Matthews picks up his second steal. Josh Hubbard is down. Boy, Akins flying high to get that rejection. Let's see if there was any contact here. Mississippi State is upset. There was no whistle here.
Whew. Well, his body hit him at the end after the shot had been blocked. And that's where the contact came from, right there. And let's see how he lands, though. I think that's the key as well. Gets hit there. Oh, right there on top of the head. I think that's where the contact came. Now, again, this is nothing from Jaden Akins' perspective as far as trying to be overly aggressive. But the body and the momentum came down, and hopefully Josh Hubbard is able to shake it off, because without him in your offense, it takes away the dynamic scoring and pick and roll ability. It was a great hustle by Jaden Akins, and right there at the end, that right elbow on the top of the head is what got Josh Hubbard.
Saw Josh's mom Betty, a concerned look in the stands. So now without Hubbard, here is Cameron Matthews. Matthews gets it back. He's the point guard. He's a big man. He's been running the point, though. And it has really settled Mississippi State in here. Dumps it down to Bell. Bell is just backing his way in. Draws a double. 4 to shoot now, and a turnover as Shaquille Moore lost it out of bounds.
And why that was excellent defense is because in order to eliminate the weak side mismatch or numbers, being 2-on-1 on the weak side, the ball has to come back out on strong side. And that time, Michigan State, excellent job double teaming, forcing the ball to come back not only on the same side, but they created a turnover.
Remember how cleanly Mississippi State played in that first half, in the second half of the first half. Their first turnover here, now a second chance for Michigan State, and Malik Hall, just as he did before the halftime buzzer, able to lay one off the glass. Good battle going on with the big men, and Cooper with a handful down there with Jimmy Bell. Cooper's used to that. He had to match up with Zach Edey in their last game at the Big Ten tournament. Nobody's as big as Edey, but Jimmy Bell, he's a big man.
No, he's a big boy. And that time, if he gets deep post position, that's where the double team is coming in. Let me give credit to deep post position, Tyson Walker. Offensive rebound. You talked about the guards for Michigan State rebounding between the Hogard, Akins, and Walker. 6 rebounds already.
Good to see Hubbard back on the floor. We'll see how effective he is. He dumps it down to Bell. Finds Davis. Davis going to drive it here. Davis looking for help. Had a shot right in front of him. Now Michigan State pushes. Walker gives it back to Hogard. Michigan State gets it organized. Jaden Akins with a baseline pull-up. Akins having a nice game 1 here. Akins with 8 points. He's hit 2 3-pointers. Davis misses a 3. Mississippi State has struggled from beyond the arc for players not named Josh Hubbard. They're 5 for 15. Hubbard is 3 of 5 from 3-point range. As we get a whistle,
Brian,
foul on Bell.
Brian, this is why the ball comes up quickly, because here in this instance is where the ball is going to go to, which is going to sink the defense, okay, for Mississippi State. It doesn't seem like a lot, but you get it up quick. Now you sink the defense. You have 5 players below the free throw line, and that opens it up for the skip pass. And once you do that, you catch a team in rotation. And then as the receiver of the ball, you just have to make a decision. Do I have a shot? If the closeout is too long, maybe I can put it on the deck and beat him off the deck, just i.e. what Akins was able to do.
Side out in Michigan State. They lead it by 10. Second foul on Jimmy Bell as well. Hogard attacks, gives it up. And now Tyson Walker. Walker's been the top scorer for the Spartans with 12, including 2 threes. A lot of dribbling here. Tyson Walker rises up on the other baseline and knocks it down. So he and Jaden Akins working those baseline jumpers.
Well, actually, it's really good defense by Deshaun Davis. That time, the elevation by Walker and the space created, able to get that shot up and in. And good to see Josh Hubbard back in the game. And it tells you his mentality. He gets hit on the head, gets taken out, but the first shot available, which was a good look, he was able to take it.
And we got a foul here. Jimmy Bell is going to pick up his 3rd foul.
Push the tempo up a little bit more off of that.
Tyson Walker knocks down the first free throw. Biggest lead of the game for Michigan State. We check in with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian and Jim, we saw the Mississippi State crowd just go silent when Josh Hubbard went down with that hard hit to the top of the head. The team did take him through the entire concussion protocol and cleared him to go with no restrictions. Really hard to say just how important he is to this team, with Coach saying he hasn't had a bad day since he got to campus in June. He says he has the it factor, and his ability to gain his teammates' respect as a freshman has been unprecedented.
Yeah, it's good stuff, Allie. Thank you. He has been such a big hit. Coming off the bench to start the year, and then the starting lineup recently is Tolu Smith back on the floor playing with those 3 fouls. Immediately goes to work. He draws a foul. And Tolu Smith, 5th-year senior, he'll take his first free throws of the game. Started his career at Western Kentucky. Carson Cooper picks up foul number 2. And Tolu Smith, a 58% free throw shooter. Madness Live app. Download it now. It's a must this time of year. 1 out of 2 from Tolu Smith. And you can sense that Chris Jans knows he's going to have to let his veteran players play in some foul trouble here. They need them.
Need them both in. That time, a little full court pressure. They picked up that time, able to fall back into a little zone defense. Of course, Michigan State into a miss.
Smith defending there as well. Hubbard driving it, leaves it. Nice pass. Matthews, a 2-handed jam.
The difference with Hubbard on the court, you have to respect, one, his jump shot, but his driving ability. When you do that, he's able to make plays, and now on the defensive end.
And Hubbard's going up again. Fearless. He lays it in this time. And Hubbard with his first 2 baskets of the second half since coming back. Mississippi State, the biggest deficit. Now they've clipped it away here. It is down to 9. Shaquille Moore guarding Hogard. Michigan State into their offensive set here. Hall down on the baseline, gives it back. Akins able to shake Matthews. No easy task, but Matthews is long and certainly affected that shot. Matthews at 6'7", closing quickly on that jump shot.
And Matthews affects the game on both ends of the court. So defensively, his impact. He made some plays inside.
No basket here. Matthews thought it should be a 3-point chance. How about Hubbard? The dish.
You draw the defense, identified Malik Hall right there. Easy drop off to Matthews for the finish, and then the quick hands. And then he's the recipient of that turnover, able to lay it up. Again, I'm talking about how good this young man is right now. But as a freshman, he's still learning how to play the game at a high level. He's just so gifted and talented that he's only going to get better in these moments right now in the tournament.
Matthews lost the handle, defended by Hall. It's a Mississippi State turnover. Spartans ball now as Matthews gets well defended. Chris Jans and the Bulldogs senior heavy roster with his freshman star up top, Malik Hall. Finally, the Spartans connect with a lob. They missed on 2 occasions in the first half. That had Tom Izzo upset.
No, that was for you, because you said, they needed to make one. And, they heard you at halftime. They said, this for Brian Anderson.
Just concerned for their coach. As we take a look at our thrilling drives presented by Nissan Hogard. The beautiful leave here for Malik Hall.
Beautiful, but they beat the pressure by throwing the ball over the top and basically received the ball at the top of the free throw line. And now that made it a 3-on-1, a 3-on-2 in the backcourt. Able to get that easy basket. So poor defense that time in that pressure, but beautiful play underneath out of bounds that time for Shaquille Moore to come off that screen and be able to cash in on that. Beautiful play.
Again, Hubbard has 3 of the Mississippi State three-pointers. The rest of the team has 3. Moore picks up a big one right there. Michigan State drives it. Hogard, so strong inside. He can take all kind of contact, able to lay it in.
Well, that's where maturity and patience pays off. Hogard allowed the pick to happen, but the seeds parted. He used that big upper body to absorb the contact. Beautiful move by Matthews.
Dropping a little Smitty on him, going old school Michigan State. Steve Smith rocked the Smitty when he was at Michigan State.
Yeah, he did it. He did it. And he evolved as it got to the pro game. I will admit, in college, I didn't get caught with it. I probably did in the league, though.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm sure I did. But beautiful move here. Boom. Might get away with a little carry, but it doesn't matter.
Steve Smith's son, Davis Smith, is a member of this Michigan State team. Three-pointer misses badly by Hubbard. Got another chance here. Hubbard dishes again, and Matthews on the receiving end again. Second chance opportunity for Mississippi State. They are within 8.
They're not going anywhere. They're going to hang around, and that's the key for the Bulldogs. Hang around, keep it a 2 to 3 possession game, and force Michigan State to then make some mistakes, and that's when you got to take advantage of it.
Oh, nice dish. No look to Kohler. Big-to-big passing under the basket. That was special. Moore just made that big three-pointer. Matthews dumps it inside. Bell was roughed up by Jackson Kohler, and the foul belongs to the sophomore from Utah.
Well, some outstanding passing, a tough shot, but an easy rebound that time by Sean Jones Jr. able to get it inside. And these tight windows and alleyways of passing sometimes can be deflected, but Malik Hall able to get it inside without any problem. Easy two to Jackson Kohler.
Inside, Smith lost the handle. To the deck he goes. Hands everywhere. Mississippi State's got it. Sean Jones, and he loses it out of bounds. Michigan State all over the basketball. They force another Bulldogs turnover.
But I tell you what, both teams do an excellent job of pursuing the ball. You turn your back, next thing you know, the double team has come, the hands are everywhere. So 1, you better be strong with the ball. 2, you got to have eyes in the back of your head. And 3, don't bury yourself close to the baseline or sideline, because if you do, you really don't have any room to work with, and it could result in a turnover.
4th of the half for Mississippi State. Deshaun Murphy back on the floor, and that's a pick by Sean Jones. He forces the turnover, and the high flyer Shaquille Moore with a two-handed jam.
Well, I tell you, eyes behind your head, you got to be strong with the ball. That time Malik Hall took it for granted that he was isolated at the free throw line, which he wasn't, giving Mississippi State another easy opportunity off a turnover. Effort
level is high right now. Offense going to be hard to come by. 11.5 to go. 9.5 into this second half. This is a 9-8 matchup. Michigan State and Mississippi State. Rising up, jump shot, Trey Holloman. Holloman, his first points of the game on just his second shot of the game. Holloman coming off 10 points against Purdue in the Big Ten tournament last Friday. Inside, Tolu Smith going to work on Jackson Kohler.
That was a big boy move right there. Kohler was right there, but Tolu Smith went right through the chest of Jackson Kohler. Get your weight up, young friend.
Okay, Jaden Akins flying high defensively, now flying high offensively with a jam. 2 big highlights by Jaden Akins.
Brother, if you didn't know, you saw the how about next year, Arizona State joining that conference?
Yeah, Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC.
Yep.
10-point game. Tolu Smith could not finish with a free throw. And now Holloman going to work, kicks it into the corner. Big man can shoot it. Xavier Booker. Booker reigns in a 3. The 6'11 freshman from Indianapolis stretches that Michigan State lead to 13.
Yeah, more than half his field goal attempts, and have been from 3 in the last 4 games.
He leaves it for Tolu Smith.
Once again, beautiful execution in their half-court set, being patient, able to get another paint point. You see the pressure extended. Can't reach right there. Sean Jones Jr. And within this structure, you dribble, you attract, and then you complete the play. I tell you, that paint forces you to have to collapse, and now as the primary ball handler, that's up to you to make the play.
Here's Booker going to fire once again. No good. That's their first miss in the last 7 trips. State had made 6 consecutive shots before that missed 3-pointer. And now Murphy will oblige. In and out it goes. That was halfway down. Rebound by Walker. Jaden Akins at the controls here. Akins, he'll let it fly. Missed it. Booker rebound. Xavier Booker in traffic, looking for room. Booker, no. Sissoko gets an offensive board. Holloman fires and hits. This bench squad for Michigan State coming alive. Holloman, his first points in the second half. Booker and Sissoko kept it alive.
Truly, he sells himself short when he just relies on shooting threes because he has so much more in his bag. He improves on his ball handling, utilize the drive to his advantage. Those threes will be a little bit easier to get off.
That happened in about a 3.5-minute span, the block and the dunk. Matthews denied. Matthews having a tough time dribbling out on the perimeter, and now he's blocked. Michigan State pushing. Matthews pokes it away from behind. Hoggard able to secure it, and we have a foul on Mississippi State.
Sissoko able, because of the defense rotation, he was right there in the middle of the lane and straight up and straight down. Was it Booker that got that? Any which way, it was one of those big bodies to inside, but it's excellent team defense to take away what could have been another point paint for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Booker, Sissoko, and Jaden Akins with the 3 blocks. Here's Hoggard. He spins. It's a foul on Matthews. A.J. Hoggard just taken on one of the best perimeter defenders in the SEC.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's where it balances itself out. Cameron Matthews is 6'7". Hoggard is 6'4". But backpedaling, you don't have the same length and you don't have the same explosion. So Hoggard able to use that. He stayed low. The little pirouette spin got him inside and picked up the foul.
This free throw, Tom Izzo. Last 4 years, he's had seeds of 11, 7, 7, and 9 this year. 16 NCAA tournament wins when he has had the worst seed. Made it to the Sweet 16 last year. Lost a thriller to Kansas State. That was as a 7 seed a year ago. Up and down year for Michigan State, but they are primed for March Madness. And it's always been that way under Tom Izzo. 26 consecutive NCAA tournaments for the Hall of Fame coach. Shaquille Moore, the lefty, misses. That's Matthews. Offensive rebound. No putback, though. Missed opportunity for Matthews at Mississippi State. Bulldogs in trouble right now. Michigan State, a ball control team when they want to be. Very few turnovers this season, and Walker taking time off the clock.
A little 2-3 zone employed right now by the Bulldogs.
In the corner, Xavier Booker missed it. Long rebound out to Hubbard. Hubbard flying with the ball in his hands. Missed the layup. Going to be a foul on Michigan State. Hubbard in all kind of traffic on these breakaways.
Make sure I know it's the Masters because Senior VP of Talent for CBS, Ross Malloy, always comes in with a new Masters shirt or sweatshirt on or pullover. And the beauty of it is this. He'll slightly tell you what's going on, but he won't offer you any gear.
No.
He gets it for free. Well, but he won't, you know what I mean? I'm a muscular,
you're kind of a big guy.
Extra large. You know what I mean?
You're no medium. You're no
I'm no medium. Go ahead and grab one, bro. If it don't fit, that's all right. I got it.
It is that time of year. You don't ever ask for an invite, sir.
Well, I mean, that's next. Let me get a shirt first.
It's Matthews who lays it in. Mississippi State needed that.
Yep.
Mississippi State down 13 right now. Matchup in the Big Ten and the SEC. Mississippi State beat Tennessee twice this year, including a 17-point victory in the SEC tournament. Akins misses. Keyshawn Murphy lost the handle on the rebound. Hands active once again for Michigan State. In the corner, three-pointer is good for Jaden Akins. He's having a game here in round one. Inside, Tolu Smith. Akins now with 15. And Smith is fouled. Mari Sissoko on the floor.
Brian, this is the thing for me. The offensive rebounds, okay? For Michigan State, you have 8 right now. And those points off of those offensive rebounds.
Third three for Jaden Akins.
Are 10 points. It seem like they got more, but it's timing. When Mississippi State makes a run, or Michigan State is able to get an offensive rebound and stymie that run. So sometimes it's not how many or how many points, it's when in the course of the game you get them and how it impacts the flow. And Michigan State seems to respond right when the Bulldogs make a run.
So frustrating. Just when you're on a little bit of a run, Michigan State with those big offensive rebounds, had multiple offensive rebounds on a few occasions as well. Jaden Akins with 15 points, 6 of 12 shooting. He has been mired in a slump. Not today here as the NCAA tournament begins. Cooper looks across. Under 6.5 to go. He got 5 to shoot here. Akins now hanging in the air. No, Cooper there with a rebound. Another offensive board. Cooper never hit the rim. Shot clock violation as Walker could not get that one off in time. The third shot clock violation for Izzo Spartans.
Last 6 minutes, 12 seconds. This is when Mississippi State has to be really tight in their offensive execution. Can't have those possessions where they come up empty. You got to get a shot at the rim, but also get to the free throw line to kind of cut into this lead.
Trying to find Hubbard. He is being hounded by Hogarth. Denial. Can't get at the ball. Now Tolu Smith has to go to work. Tries to thread the needle. Can't do that. Shaquille Moore short. Had a good look at it.
And not enough space that time on the baseline. Tolu Smith kind of took it into traffic. Easy to defend that, and Michigan State, veteran team, veteran backcourt is going to take its time, utilize this shot clock to run down the game clock.
Michigan State beat Minnesota in the Big Ten tournament, then lost to Purdue the next night, last Friday. Paul missed it. Here's Moore. Shaquille Moore, he's hit 1-3 in this game. They dump it down to Tolu Smith. Mississippi State's going to need some threes. Hubbard is open. A bad pass from Smith. And that's going to be a violation. Backcourt violation. Mississippi State turns it over. Hubbard had popped free in the corner. Smith didn't see him.
Yep, but he
had a giveaway.
But Tolu Smith got buried too deep on the baseline. So when he made that move, he was basically behind the basket. And 13 turnovers, 6 this half. And Keyshawn Murphy, instead of staying kind of where he was at, he was thinking dive to the basket because the lane was wide open.
Here is Walker. Hits another one. And the Spartans trying to put Mississippi State away here in round one. It's going to be another Tom Izzo victory as the worst seed.
Zone defense, best way to attack it. You move it quickly, make a decision. You penetrating pass into the gap, collapses. Tyson Walker, 3-ball. Corner block.
Free throws here for Cameron Matthews. 4:43 remaining. And 66-50 now. Michigan State by. Previews, recaps, much more. You can download the CBS Sports app to watch today. 1 out of 2 at the line for Matthews. Michigan State in control.
And Bulldogs can't afford to be in the zone defense, but they still are. Even though they have to score quickly and got a steal out of it.
Matthews with the steal. Hubbard drives it and stripped out of his hands by Hogard. Michigan State just playing with a calm and a patience here, and an excellent defensive team always. It's hard to believe Michigan State is the last Big Ten team to win a national championship. There's been a long drought for the Big Ten. Michigan State winning in 2000.
You had, you know, a great Illinois team, Darren Williams to the Final Four, Ohio State against Florida, championship game, Michigan.
Matthews offensive rebound. He missed it, but he's fouled. Yeah, so many bites at the apple. There are 6 Big Ten teams in the NCAA tournament this year. Purdue is the top seed in the Midwest. They'll be in action tomorrow. Wow, Matthews dropped the hammer on A.J. Hogard.
Yeah, he made him feel it right there. Again, incidental, but he went up. He did the right thing by using that size, and Hogard, unfortunately, catch the blunt of that. Here's the thing about Purdue. Purdue is a lot like UConn from this perspective. Their offense works on timing. If you can disrupt the timing, maybe you have a shot. Listen, you're not going to stop Zach Edey.
Yep.
I don't care what you do, but what you can do is influence the game by taking the guards out of play. And that's the challenge you have when you face, what do I do? Do I double on Edey? Or do I take away and give up threes? Or do I allow him to kind of go a little bit one-on-one, but take the others out of the game?
That's the beauty of Purdue right now, is the fact that they are more than just Zach Edey. Edey's got a chance to win the National Player of the Year. He is a great force. He's a great passer as well, but you're right, their guards can pick you apart. Purdue and Grambling will be in Indy tomorrow. Grambling coming out of the first 4.
I tell you what, and the team to me from the UConns, I've covered them all year, really doesn't have a weakness. Because they can beat you when they're not shooting the ball from behind the 3 particularly well. So many ways and avenues to win basketball games at UConn team.
Feels like the number 1 seeds this year, Jim, are really strong, very top heavy. As Tolu Smith works inside, Cooper holds his ground. Another chance here. Hubbard for 3, no. And up and off the shot clock. And that'll be Michigan State ball.
Let's mature them. Let's make sure they're around 3 to 4 years. But it's different because sometimes freshmen are in tendency they want to leave and they want to play. Chris Jan said, listen, I'm building year to year. Free agency, I'm trying to find the best players that it takes to compete. Whereas Izzo is still more organic, but I do think as we bleed into the future, Izzo is and Michigan State has got to change that a little bit more just because of what the dynamic of today's world is in college basketball.
You could hear that in his voice a little bit yesterday as Walker misses. Another offensive rebound here. Bobby Sissoko has had a big rebounding game. Chris Jans, one of his initial comments to the press when he took the job at Mississippi State, he said, I'm not here to build a program. And I think that took everybody back because I'm here to build a team every year, going to utilize the portal.
Yep. He
changed his offense, what he believes was his offense, to basically get into the spread offense, the kind of offense players want to play. And that's certainly a story moving forward in college basketball as we kick it over to Allie LaForce.
Well, Brian, there's no doubt that his program is his. He crafted it and created it in a unique way. But when we asked him, how would you describe you as a coach? He said one word. He said every day. He said, I grew up in a small town of Iowa watching the Big Ten, and if there was one coach that he would want to emulate, it would be Tom Izzo. He said, when I was in my early 20s, listen, I wanted to be a high school gym teacher and wear shorts to work every day. That was my goal. But looking up to now and fast forward to this moment, these two facing off each other is iconic because if there was one coach, the defense, the toughness, the casual, the relationship with the players, it's Tom Izzo.
No question. Chris also said he was a very small child when he was watching Jim Jackson perform at an All-American level at Ohio State.
That wasn't necessary, bro. If you would just say I'm old, just call me old. You don't have to use examples like that. But Chris Jans, I think, is going to be in an excellent position. It's tough in Mississippi State to kind of get the high caliber of player that you want initially. But if you can get your NIL game up, identify the right kind of transfers, and the way he plays, and the key is for him changing. He said, I talked to my players. I said, I got to get up to speed on how you guys want to play.
Yeah, no question. He's a good one.
Yep.
They're in good shape. Mississippi State, they're gonna lose a lot of key players. Ball's out of bounds. Don't forget, you can head over to Bleacher Report right now for the latest episodes of From the Point by Trey Young. Features basketball stars' conversations with A-list guests, his unique perspective on stories from around the league. Download the Bleacher Report app to watch now. Coming to the finish line here in our first game of 4 today in Charlotte. Josh Hubbard showed well in his first game. Remember, he took a shot to the head. Really wasn't the same in the second half, as Hubbard coming off a fantastic freshman year in the SEC.
I tell you what, if you can build some shooting around Josh Hubbard, what his potential is, because he's going to attract so much gravity from the opposing team's defense, and if you can counter that with some post plays that can finish, but also some shooting around him, I mean, you got something there, because the sky's the limit for this young man. He comes from an outstanding family. You know, he understands what he wants to accomplish. He's humble, charismatic at the same time, and he wants to accept the responsibility of being a leader of this program.
Cousin of Dwayne Wade. And D. Wade certainly proud of him, our colleague. Mississippi's all-time high school scoring leader.
Tell them how many points he scored.
They'll empty the bench.
Over 4,300 points,
he was a 5-year starter in high school. He was a starter in 8th grade. As Tom Izzo is going to empty his bench as well. His son coming on the floor, Steven Izzo. Davis Smith, son of Steve Smith, getting some minutes here in an NCAA tournament game as well. Walker and Hogard both performing well. Hogard, just that steady presence, had 8 assists today to go along with his 8 points.
Well, if you want to win in the tournament, you got to lean heavily on your experience, in particular from the backcourt. And when things kind of got unsettled for Michigan State, it was the backcourt that kind of brought everything back into play. Leveled things out. Shoot it.
Little Smitty's going to let it fly, just like his... A Smitty sighting in green once again. They love it on the bench.
Hey, yo, he didn't hesitate, did he?
Oh. That's a lot of backyard ball with Steve Smith, the old man, to get a shot up like that.
Nah, Izzo, he's not going to shoot it. I know the crowd wants it. Look at Tom right there.
Let's get Trey Ford in the game as well. Jaquan Scott. That's going to take us to the finish line. Tom Izzo, a 9 seed. An 18-point win over Mississippi State. 6th consecutive victory in the round of 64.